Hello world. I thought that I should give a quick channel update. So Frenchember is finally finished. Finally finished all my French defense videos. Like there is still some stuff that I didn't cover, like I didn't get around to covering the classical variation in particular, and there were a couple more lines with the Tarrasch variation that I wanted to cover. In fact, I had a video, or yeah, I had a video recorded that where I just didn't really like the game afterwards. I was like, yeah, I don't actually like this game. I don't think Black played that well. Oh, but so maybe at some point in the future, I might, redo that and upload, some stuff that is missing. But the classical variation, I'm not going to cover just because I found that I really enjoy the vinegar and kind of decided that that line is the line for me. Like it just matches my style much more than the classical does. Because even though I have occasionally in the past kind of transposed to a classical French from Alechine's defense, with moves like e4, knight f6, knight c3, d5, e5, knight fd7, d4, e6. That's a way you can get a classical French from Alechine's defense. So anyway, currently when it comes to chess, right now what I need to work on is just getting more experience with some of the new openings that I'm planning to use. Like I've already used the French defense a number of times, in online games and had a fair amount of success. But there are also some other openings that I'm learning, which I'm not going to make videos about on this channel because I want to keep some stuff in my repertoire kind of secret. But anyway, okay, I do still have plans for my series on chess opening theory. So at some point, I might upload some more videos on the French, just filling in some loose ends, like maybe some stuff in the trash, as well as what was it? I I also originally had a video on the two knights variation, which I kind of changed my mind about before uploading, just because I didn't like the game that much, which I found it to be kind of boring. Like this was actually a case where Black played quite well. It's just the game was very long and it went into the end game, and I just felt that I couldn't really. My analysis of the end game just wasn't that good. So I might do a video on the two knights at some point. But currently, my plans for the series on chess opening theory is right now I'm going to be changing my focus to the King's Indian attack and the King's Indian defense. And since I since right now I'm not really prioritizing studying openings that much, my uploading is going to be a bit more sporadic, but I'm planning to take a bit of a different approach with these two openings. Like some of the feedback that I heard for my series is that like it was covering one opening way too much, and that people in the audience, they might want to see other openings as well, like other kinds of interesting positions. So I think I've figured out a good compromise for that, and that is I'm planning to take a look at the King's Indian attack and the King's Indian defense, but I'm planning to look at them more as a repertoire than as an opening. So rather than being one opening, like one series of moves that you play against everything, instead, occasionally, I'm going to be transposing to a different opening because, like, both the KIA and the KID, they are both extremely dynamic openings, things where part of the secret to playing them optimally is to be willing to switch to something else if your opponent adopts a certain setup. Like, that's actually part of the secret to them, because just blindly playing the exact same moves against everything that your opponent does. Like, that can be good when you're starting out in chess, like when you're a beginner, but it doesn't work so well when you get more advanced. And so I'm planning to do that. And I also might start streaming chess soon, since right now my focus mainly needs to be on just playing a lot of games, just playing more games. Like chess, it's kind of very cyclical, or there are kind of various phases that you kind of want to follow when you're improving. Moving. Like, at some point, I'll probably have this fully figured out, but like there are times where you should like go study endgames, and there are times where you should go study tactics, and there are times where you should just play a bunch of games, and there are times where it's like you should go learn your openings better because you're playing your openings badly, and generally, like, from my experience, the way to decide what to do now is just, by taking a look at the games that you play in tournaments and seeing what it is that you need to improve. So right now, I just want to get more experience with some openings, so I'm going to be playing more games, and I think I'm going to be streaming soon. So, hopefully, like, hopefully I'll have some stream content that I'll be able to upload to the YouTube channel. Like, hopefully just some very fun little highlight games, just some very quick games where you can kind of watch in real time me playing various things. So that'll be quite fun. And as for the series on chess opening theory, my uploads, I think they're going to be a bit more sporadic just because I don't want to burn myself out, but I am kind of excited for some of the ideas that I have in mind for these repertoires that I'm planning to cover. Like, namely, instead of doing one game per video, I'm kind of planning to kind of break it up in kind of a different way, where it's like, okay, if your opponent plays this opening or this system against you, you should play this opening and basically have, like, you should play this series of moves and maybe transpose to this other opening, and maybe have one video cover multiple games just featuring that, just so that everything's a little bit more organized and easier to digest. Like, have it grouped based off of sort of the philosophy that your opponent is following, as opposed to exact move order stuff. Like with the French defense, I think that worked okay, just because like e4 openings in particular, they tend to be a lot more forcing and a lot more strict regarding theory and what moves you play. So it does make sense to like focus on individual moves and really drill down on them. But the King's Indian attack and the King's Indian defense, they are more like d4 openings. Although I guess technically the KIA is more of an e4 opening, since you often are playing for like d3, e4 kinds of things. But sometimes you do play d4, sometimes you do play a Catalan, and sometimes you do play like a Tarrasch defense, like you transpose to that, or like a reverse Grunfeld, all kinds of very interesting stuff. So anyway, I'm very excited to get to this stuff. And I hope that you all have been enjoying my series so far. And if you really, really do want me to cover the classical variation in the French, then just let me know in the comments. Like, if a lot of people come forward and are like, oh, I really want to learn the classical variation, or I really want to learn about the Rubinstein variation, because that one's a lot more beginner friendly and doesn't require as many videos, doesn't require as much theory, then please do let me know. So anyway, that is my update for now. I hope that you've been enjoying. Until next time.